All right, call the meeting to order. Welcome to the, what month are we in? April Lakes JAC meeting. First order of business, are there any additions to the agenda you have in front of you? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Approval of the previous meeting minutes. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Scott. Okay, management comments, Tom.
The ballots for the board election went out on Monday via email and will be going out via U.S. mail pretty soon here. You'll start getting it pretty soon. Make sure you make an informed decision, but most importantly, vote.
Anything? All right. Okay, with that, I'll turn it over to Rick.
Walked out and forgot my notes, but luckily John's back at the office. He's not here today. He's expecting a couple important phone calls. We'll start with the Windsor drawdown, which is dragging on a little longer than we had hoped, but the current lake level it's down 21 inches. Hopefully this week's rain will bring that back to full pool real quick. Let's see here. Our rangers in the month of March had 2,824 contacts, removed 140, 117 contacts were by boat, and 40 and a half hours on the water in March. That compares 2,800 in March compares to 2,300 in February and 1,400 in March of 2023. So we're almost double what we were doing in the previous year.
Is that attributable to usage?
I don't know what I don't know if it's weather or what it is. We don't have any more rangers than we did last year, but anyway, we are bringing back 2 rangers from last year. They'll start before the end of April, and we just hired 2 new rangers that'll start in May. So that'll bring us up to full summer staff. Our grounds maintenance guys have been busy. We have 3 pavilion roofs that we're replacing in conjunction with the lakes. The one at Tyree and at London Landing have been replaced. We're still looking to get the one at Lake Ann Park done. There was some grading done at the Tyree bathrooms last month to help alleviate the water flow during the wet season. We used to get water in the bathroom there. It looks like that should take care of that problem. We had a sunken boat on Lake Windsor over the weekend. I believe it was one of the construction barges. It was removed. And
just a point on that, why were those guys, should we allow them to park? Because they took up both spots at the ramp. So when you launched your boat, you literally had the ramp and one side of the dock there. They had taken up both spots.
Yeah, they shouldn't. If that was the case, they shouldn't have done that. And call the ranger and let them know.
Were there actually 2 of them? One of them looked like a bass tracker type, and one looked like a pontoon.
The pontoon is the one I know about. That was sunk, or that was tied up in the wrong spot.
There's still one tied up there yesterday.
Okay.
But then there was one kind of like at one of the middle docks. It was like a bass tracker type.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one. We also had a pedal boat that was looked to be abandoned. Had a hole in the bottom. It was full of rocks. It was like they tried to get rid of it and it didn't work. Which is what those boats are good for. So our lakes ecology folks have also been busy. I'm sorry.
That's the one that was in the middle.
Huh. They got it because it's not there. So, we installed our pond liner for our 4th pond. That was aquaculture pond. That was about twice the size of our others, and the liner was thicker. It was quite an ordeal. We had 31 employees from 9 different departments helping out on that, so that was a good team building exercise. Yeah. Our volunteers that collect the SECI data started last Monday, and so that's going fairly smoothly. Lake Brittany was stocked for the last time just prior to the new year, last year. Still haven't gotten our trout permit for this year. I'm looking at potentially taking possession of the year's worth of trout in the fall and keeping them in our aquaculture ponds. The concern with that would be people getting in there and fishing for them. So I don't know if that's the way to go or not, but I'm considering it. We were out on Monday looking to remove grass carp from Loch Lomond. We got 13. Doesn't sound like a lot, but that's about 300 pounds of fish. And we are also collecting red ear brood stock to go in the aquaculture ponds. And so we got all the brood fish we needed, and that was good. We also harvested the bluegill from the aquaculture ponds yesterday and got those in Loch Lomond at Stony Kirk. And that's it. Oh, sorry. We will also be having an open house on May the 11th for the aquaculture ponds. We should have plenty to see there. The rangers will be there with a booth. We'll have demonstrations of what we do in lakes ecology, much like we did last year, but we should have more going on in the ponds. And also the Catfish Derby is the next Saturday, May 18th, 8 to noon at the Metfield Clubhouse Pond.
We're going to publish that, right?
Yes.
So people are aware of it. So, is it early?
It's a little early. It's a little early. The golf people have been gracious enough to give us a Saturday, which is really busy, but they don't tend to get traffic in that area until about noon anyway. So we're doing it on a Saturday. Otherwise, we would wait till school was out for the year to do it during the week. So,
Lake Windsor Dam repavement, is that on schedule this year?
I'll put it forward again, like I have the last
really,
couple years.
I drove
It
on
is
it the other
getting
day
bad.
after a rain. It's really, we've got chuck holes just everywhere.
Yeah, and we were wanting to wait until we got past the freeze thaw season, which we have now, and we'll get out in the next week or so and take care of those potholes with cold patch best we can.
Okay, because it really has showing some wear.
Yeah.
There was something, I think it was Saturday on Facebook about somebody riding a wave runner on Windsor.
Yes, there was.
Did the Rangers
The
catch up with them?
Lake Ranger phone lit up something like 35 times, and they were eventually talked to about that. They were unaware. They were Airbnb family that was here and didn't know the rules. But as soon as they were made aware, they removed the jet ski and apologized.
Yeah, that was a big deal on Facebook this weekend. Any other questions for Rick? So the shocking schedule, is that going to begin soon, or is that the lake shocking?
We're looking at next week, weather dependent. We've got the largemouth are coming up on beds. I'm sure you've noticed that. And we were thinking about trying to get out this weekend, but I didn't want to do that on a weekend.
So with Lake Windsor filling much more slowly than it has in the past because of lack of rain, is that going to affect the spawn any at all?
I don't think so.
You don't?
No. We're, like I say, we're less than 2 feet down right now, and even if we gained those 2 feet while a fish was on a bed, it shouldn't affect
Shouldn't affect it too bad, okay.
Yeah.
We just need about, how many inches would it take to fill Windsor?
If we got 2 inches of rain tonight, that would be enough.
Yeah.
Even an inch and a half, given a week's time, would probably be enough.
Okay. Any more questions for Rick? Anybody got anything? Okay, Rick, I'm assuming there's no, or updates on the, you talked about removing some grass carp, but nothing else on Arkansas cubes or as far as vegetation or anything like that?
We don't have any updates right now. I'm going to be getting in touch with the Louisville research facility that does. My issue is I don't think that we have vegetation on Loman that we could use in those cubes right now, and I am hesitant to bring anything else in from anywhere else because you don't know what might be hitching a ride. But if they can provide clean vegetation, we can maybe get some from them.
Okay, sounds promising. Okay, we updated we talked about water quality testing, the shocking. All right, so Carol Phillips and Ross Gerner, I don't know if Ross is on today, have agreed to serve another term. Their terms are expiring at the end of June of this year. So we'd like to renominate Carol and Ross Gerner for another term on the Lakes Committee. Kelly Austin has expressed an interest in rolling off, and Kelly's been doing this for a long time now. I think ever since probably 7 or 8 years. So that leaves us with one opening on the Lakes Committee. I've talked to, I think we're going to get that in the newsletter, and so maybe give it 3 or 4 more weeks, let the applications roll in, and we'll have some sort of a committee to decide and pick a new member. So keep that in mind.
It's a little early, but do you want to vote on these now? I mean, you're not
Sure.
required to wait. It's up to you.
I mean, I think we can vote. So we need a nomination, a second, and then a vote on Carol Phillips. Okay, nominate. Do we get a second? Okay, thanks. All in favor of Carol Phillips renominated to the Lakes Committee? Any opposed? Okay. How about Ross Gerner? Can we get a first on that?
I'll nominate Ross.
Okay. All right. All in favor for Ross? Any opposed? Okay, so that passes. So that leaves, again, just one opening for the beginning of the July session.
One other thing that's a little bit, we're still on the early side, and I'm still looking into a couple things, but we're considering putting forward Lake Norwood for drawdown this fall. There are access issues to the back of the lake, which needs to be dredged, and it would require going through Cooper property. So we're going to need to get permission to do that. There was, when the lake was put in, there was a road bed that was put in to access the lake, and we would need access to that same old road bed. I wouldn't foresee that there would be an issue, but we're going to have to ask them about that.
And so that's just to remove some silted end coves back there?
Yeah, it's getting to the point, there's very little habitat in the lake for spawning. And the back of the lake has silted in gravel, silt, and a lot of that area is bordered by Cooper property. There are some individuals that own property there, and we usually, if you want the area in front of your dock dredged, it's usually on you to do it. But that lake is getting to the point where it's not acting to remove material is going to impact the quality of the fishery and the lake itself over time. So
That's one of the ones that's not normally in the rotation.
it is not normally in the rotation.
That one in Brittany.
Yes.
Okay.
Brittany, I would not ever lower unless we're going to do some major renovations to it. Norwood may have a little trouble getting the water back. And we would need to take that into account too before we make a decision.
So we need to vote on that by the fall. There's no big rush on that or anything, right?
The June meeting,
Okay,
we usually vote on that in either May or June.
okay. Is it next, so we've never done Norwood? Never, huh? Okay,
Not since I've been here,
okay.
How far is it gonna need to be drawn down?
probably 6 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That could take some refilling.
Does,
Rick, do you need any help on structure for Norwood? Or do you
On
want-
putting in structure,
Yeah.
this fall, if the lake does go down, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That could be our next,
We needed to circle the wagons on that.
yeah.
Because I thought, the structure we put in at Windsor worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
I know we don't use those drains through the dams anymore. Is that one easy to take down without some kind of,
We have to put in siphon tubes.
okay,
If we do Norwood, we've got 3 lakes that we use siphon tubes for, and we store the pipes from year to year.
I know like in Windsor, they cut that trench in there to lower it when
Yeah.
they do it.
The rest of the lakes really aren't set up
Siphon can do it.
to do that.
Okay. Anything else? That's really the only thing I had on the agenda. I think we've covered every topic. So, any updates from anyone on any topic?
Just one more thing to report. The heated dock is about 90% complete for that rehab project. All the boards that were under the walls, which was really creating the problem for doing the work, that has been complete all the way around. We need to hook the electrical back up and do a few boards that aren't impeded by the walls of the structure.
Okay.
And then that'll be done.
So that's on Avalon, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I don't see Trey on there, but I think that, did the marina reopen, Loch Lomond?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
1st of April, they have spring hours now, which are limited, and then it goes to full hours at the beginning of May, I think.
Okay, good.
I think it's Memorial Day.
Is it Memorial Day?
Okay, I almost forgot people in the audience. Sir, do you have anything to say, or you want open forum?
Is this turned on?
Yes, should be.
Would be interested in that seat that's available. Who would I talk to about? Jessica. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Sir, do you have anything? Okay. All right, going again once, going twice. Anybody have anything? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.